Hello, I'm Ava. My project is Mysticalaria, an animated short film. What hopefully follows is a variety of installments in the series, books, further films, a website, and possibly themed games. This project starts in September 2022, lasting up to 9 months, but may be extended if there is enough interest in the project. I will be collaborating with the video artist Piotr Obel, Posh Gecko Animation Studios, Fidget Feet, music composers, publishing companies, web designers, consultants, membership groups, and others. Potential voice actors I have worked with in the past, such as Theo Wozniak-Kay, Olivia Warburton, and Cadian Kelly. I will be contacting a variety of venues for Mysticalaria, art venues, youth centres, independent cinemas, film festivals, galleries and museums. This ensures attention from alternative audiences in different areas. Audiences engage with the project by viewing the pilot, their reactions deciding what happens next. Progression from each phase will depend on success via audience feedback. Those in the target demographic are young people experiencing the complexities of growing up, which the film addresses, attendees of alternative art festivals such as Brighton Fringe, seeking indie films with alternative ways of storytelling and expression, viewers of Amazon Prime, a streaming site showing little-known, low-budget films, fans of the fantasy, slice-of-life and adventure genres, minorities. The creatures reflect different cultural backgrounds but will not resort to stereotypes. The LGBTQ+ and mental health communities. This project is featuring major LGBTQ+ and neurodivergent characters. Those who seek more equality in media. The male and female characters are on the same level of diversity, competence, making the project strongly committed to inclusivity. The film has a young audience in mind, but adults should find appeal in it as well because it should be entertaining and deal with current issues. The film will be created largely at my home, functioning as a studio and office since I have access to IT professional software such as Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, Steinberg Nuendo and Wavelab, and fast broadband. My collaborators and I will share ideas and resources using email, texting, Zoom, YouTube, and Dropbox account, minimizing costs. I will need at least monthly meetings in person at my studio for recording. Initial communication outside the project team will be by email, Zoom, social media, and/or phone. Subsequent contacts with partners will be in person, so travel costs will need to be considered. With several weeks of dedicated writing and planning, I will complete the initial draft for the first story. Afterwards, we will send draft materials to the Posh Gecko Animation Studio to bring it all to life. I will contact Brighton and Hove Council, the Brighton Rocks Film Festival, the Duke of York's Picture House, and many others for advertisement and further funding for the initial film. I have divided the upcoming project into 6 phases. Phase 1, the animated short film / pilot, introducing the characters, themes, settings and world building. For Phase 2, I have contacted local publishers such as Woodbridge to support the series promotion and printing as books. Ebooks and audiobooks will be produced for accessibility. Phase 3 would be a website similar to those such as DeviantArt with competitions, stories and reviews. Here, fans can write, draw and animate their own stories to give a voice to the audience. I will contact local web designers and creators to plan and price this. Phase 4 is the potential development of 2 types of video games. The first will take inspiration from life simulation games. The second will be the characters playing through the story's plots able to be replayed for collectibles with different characters that were unlocked. Phase 5 would be a role-playing game similar to Dungeons & Dragons. Finally, Phase 6 might be a toy series similar to Sylvanian Families. This would be developed in partnership with a toy company. The project is creatively important to me and my audience because it is a fantasy adventure depicting and focusing on LGBT and neurodivergent characters. Too often fantasy projects do not represent marginalized minorities. This series will center around inclusivity issues such as ethnicity, sexuality, gender, and disability. The initial Mysticalaria stories are already written in outline. The Mysticalaria characters will be mythical creatures living in a fantastical world and yet are also vehicles to discuss challenging questions of our age. The mythical creatures depicted represent diverse ethnicities and identities, bucking expected stereotypes. All throughout a fantasy format, I plan to work with consultants from community groups, charities, and health professionals. This will make sure the representation is authentic and respectful. The story will be best told if animated with 2D software, but possibly some scenes might be stop motion, with some similarities with Studio Ghibli, Cartoon Saloon, and Studio Laika. Live action would not carry the same wonder and charm. It would also exceed far beyond our planned budget. These original sketches by the project's visual artist Piotr Obal follow my brief. He has also produced exciting backgrounds, colourful and multi-dimensional, to build a world for the short film and future installments. The first story will be the characters celebrating Mysticalaria's equivalent of the holiday season, a light spirit. These creatures will include selkies, dragons, unicorns, griffins, and pegasi. These will be an introduction of the main characters, their personalities, lives, and cultures. When our heroes mingle outside of the festivities, they come across their antagonists. They only survive these and later encounters by working together as a team, enhancing their strengths and covering weaknesses. They fulfill a prophecy that a band of creatures from different walks of life will come together and save Mysticalaria. This turns out to be fabricated to inspire anyone willing to try. Sound treatment is a crucial part of this creation process and will be a key factor in Mysticalaria. Responsibility for sound design will be mine. I have access to professional software such as Nuendo, Premiere, and high-quality plugins. I plan to employ the composer's Fidget Feet, whose music is cinematic. In my past films, writing and editing has been some of my strongest skills. Studio Ghibli, a key inspiration for the sound, create their own worlds and stories impossible in a mundane, purely peopled world. Mysticalaria will be an action-packed fantasy told with mythical creatures instead of humans like these kinds of stories normally are. There will also be characters and themes going beyond typical fantasy molds. I have worked widely in community theatre, photography and creative writing groups, and I am looking for positive and radical collaboration in this project. I have a strong affinity for reading and creating stories about underdogs, diversity, adventure, slice of life, childhood, darker sides of society and family. These are themes in Mysticalaria that will be in spades. If you'd like to know more, contact me with the details on screen. I am attracted to work that is self-conscious about form and genre, breaking down the fourth wall to reveal the artifice of media. Locked Up in Lockdown, a film I made earlier on in my time at university, which is initially a documentary about an elderly couple in the depths of COVID-19 lockdown, but is really an exploration of the notion of truth in reality TV. What they don't understand is that they're just ciphers, symbols, characters in my story. People want my story without the complexity of their real lives. We need a simple story, simple characters, and simple message. Why can't they understand that? Get Brexit done, take back control, make America great. We are constructing a narrative and they are trying to disrupt that. I cannot just ask how they want to portray themselves. It's my documentary, not theirs. Genre Twist examines the signifiers that tell us how we should respond to what we see and hear on TV as well. This is a comedy, then it is a drama, and now we are in horror territory.
That's better. Now I can enjoy my escapist world. And a good thing too, because it's getting to a good part where the characters are becoming really dysfunctional. Maybe another murder, revealed affair, or even a ruined Christmas.
Casey? Casey?
A Time and a Place for Imagination deals with the illusion of a wholly happy and carefree childhood. The place is changed now, and many familiar faces are gone, but the greatest change is myself. I was a child then. I had no idea what the world would be like. I wished to trust myself on the waters and the sea. Everything was romantic in my imagination. Monsters is a circular film which explored consciousness as well as the transition between dreams and reality. I wake up with a start in my bed in the middle of the night. I look at my alarm clock, which says 3:49 in the morning.
I feel restless, unable to drift back to sleep.